So today we are going to analyze the artwork of different major arcana cards. The very first card that we are going to start with is the Fool, which, for those of you who don't know, is my favorite tarot card. So if anybody has their tarot cards with them for class, if you don't have your tarot cards with you for class and you have a deck, please feel free to go grab it. Having a tarot deck with you is definitely going to help you out with class today. Oops, no, I don't need to know the meaning. I know the meaning. You Google. I want images. So if you have your deck on you, I would love if you went and pulled out the Fool card. Let's see, what would be a fun one to analyze today? This is cool. Awesome, let's analyze this one. Is there a way to make it bigger? There is. Cool, can everybody see that? Screen.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so I would love somebody who has been at all the tarot classes or who has watched them online or on YouTube to tell me what the interpretation and meaning of the Fool is. If we don't have anyone who knows, that's perfectly fine. I will tell you, but if we do, I would love that.
So the Fool is like taking a risk, taking the leap, kind of like not really worrying about consequences, just kind of going for it, impulsive kind of. Just basically not afraid. It's the beginning of the journey. It's the beginning of the major arcana, and that starts the whole journey.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Becca. Yes, that was a great interpretation. Does anybody else have anything to add about the Fool?
They're good at being leaders with their ideas and taking care of being good with friends, and they also like to be the center of attention.
On for you if you want me to.
Awesome. Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, Jackie. That was great. So here are some more fun images of the Fool. Whoops. So the Fool represents Uranus, Aries, and Aquarius. I have to minimize this. There we go. So the Fool represents, Uranus, Aries, and Aquarius. Uranus is the planet of rebellion and adventure and change and revolution and risk. It also, Uranus brings a new way of looking at things, and it is a really big sign of freedom and creativity. We also have Aries, of course, which is a fire sign, and it represents so much enthusiasm and inspiration and being impulsive and assertive, and also somebody who takes extreme risks and who doesn't really look before they jump. They act before they think. They are extremely creative. They help open up inspiration in others. They are Aries are one of the most fiery fire signs, if that makes sense. Whenever you think of a very stereotypical fire sign, it's usually a lot of the characteristics of Aries. Someone who is that leader, someone with extreme motivation, somebody who is a go-getter, who moves at a very fast pace, who really enjoys being in charge, and who is this vital force of nature, who helps others to discover the leadership within themselves and the assertiveness within themselves as well. And then we have Aquarius, who are visionaries, progressive souls. They really enjoy making friends. They really want to help make the world a better place. They are an air sign. They tend to be lost in thought. They tend to kind of live in a much more, they tend to live in a world inside of their head. Aquarius people are definitely not very down to earth. They are very airy. They live inside very euphoric worlds inside of their heads. And they're always trying to work on revolution and progress and creating community. And they are very good at communication, at language, at helping others to communicate, and at bringing people together. So if you want to, you can read through this slide as well to get a better understanding. I wrote all of these, so there is no source. It's just kind of me writing about Uranus and Aries and Aquarius and how they come together to create the meaning behind the Fool card. And everybody else here already gave you a very wonderful definition of the Fool. The Fool is a risk taker, and the Fool is everything that I just said, all put together. So I would love, oh, there we go. I would love if everybody could look at their own deck. Recording. And we are going to do a little activity. So if everybody could look at their own deck, if you do not have a deck, then you can use the card that is on the screen right now. If you do have a deck, I would prefer that you use the Fool card that is in your own deck. And I would love if every single person could either answer in the chat or answer out loud. Now that you know the definition of the Fool, what the Fool represents and who the Fool is, tell me how the artwork in your deck or the artwork on the screen helps to depict the meaning of the card. And I'm going to call out who goes first. So let's have, and by the way, there are no wrong answers. I'm not looking for anything specific here. I would just love if you told us what deck you have. And if you want to turn on the camera, maybe show off your deck and show off the Fool card within your deck, or just describe it to us and just tell us how the card helps to depict the meaning and how the artwork depicts the meaning. There is no right or wrong answer, or there are no wrong answers. All the answers are right. So let's start with Kaya.
Hold on, I'm trying to find it.
Oh, no problem.
Oh, please don't pick me. Please don't pick me. Please don't pick me.
And of course I picked you.
And of course it's going to be at the very bottom of the deck. Of course it is.
Of course, always, you know.
I had that many left. Okay, so here is my camera on?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so here is mine.
Oh, beautiful. That's awesome.
And it is a definitely very Aquarius. I'm definitely getting the very Aquarius vibe from my deck. A young man setting out on a new journey, with a white rose in his hand. And a little dog next to him. It's just it very much reads to me like the very beginning, the very start of something.
Yes.
New opportunities.
That is awesome. Thank you, Kaya. So yes, that is one thing. Now that we've had one person present, that is one thing that I've always noticed about the Fool, and that a lot of people who analyze the artwork within tarot have noticed about the Fool. Even if you go back to some of the very first decks ever created, when it comes to the major arcana were created in Italy. And if you go back to some of the oldest decks to ever be created in Italy, which a lot of people think is the Rider-Waite deck, and that is not true. There were many that were created before the Rider-Waite deck. The Rider-Waite deck is just very old and very famous and very popular. But there were quite a few made before that deck, and especially by the Strega witches in Italy. But something that you will notice is that most of the Fool cards have an animal extremely close to the human depicted in the picture. They are also usually standing over a ledge or a cliff. They're usually staring off into the distance and not looking directly at the reader. They're not looking forward or like at you. They're not facing outwards in the card. They're usually looking off into the distance. And what else? Oh yeah, usually they're dancing or they look very free. Usually they're dancing or skipping or there's usually a lot of movement in the picture. Which in this case, and the one that's up on screen, it looks like, it definitely looks like there's some movement in her, but there also looks like there's a lot of movement in the animals as well that are near her. So I thought that was very interesting as well. Awesome. So Maddie. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Maddie. So if everybody wants to go to the chat and read Maddie's art analysis. Aw, I love that. Thank you for describing that for us. Awesome. Okay, so the next person that I'm going to have analyze the artwork is Ophelia. Let me know if I'm saying that wrong. Ophelia, did you have a card to share with us or some art analysis of the card that's on screen?
I cannot. I am working, so I'm just listening. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, that's totally fine. Thank you for letting me know. No problem. Next on our list, we have Yvonne. And please always let me know if I am pronouncing your name wrong. Please.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm just watching and listening because I'm a beginner, so I'm just watching.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, next on our list is Amy.
Okay, so just for a second. Sorry, Becky's next to me.
Oh, that's okay. No problem.
It's reverbing back and forth, so she's gonna run inside real quick while I do this.
Okay.
I normally have it on mute. So I've got 2 decks, and trust me, I am new at this, very new. So I have I think this is the Rider-Waite deck.
Yep. Awesome.
So I have that one, and then I have a lot of problems with my hands, so I got a mini deck. I don't know if you can even see this. A mini deck. Where'd it go?
Oh,
No.
cute.
It's steampunk,
Oh, cool.
but they're pretty much the same. There's small differences, but when I looked at this card first, the first word that came to my head was carefree. This guy is just trotting along, not a care in the world, about to go off a cliff, but he's happy doing what he's doing. It's he's the opposite of look before you jump. You know, he just seems like he's gonna take his dog and his little bag and, you know, come what may.
That is awesome. Yes. Thank you so much, Amy.
You're welcome.
Okay. So, and remember that all I'm asking people to do, even if you're a beginner, even if you've never done this before, that's totally fine. Just tell me what you see in the card. I already told you the meaning of the Fool, what the Fool represents, what it means. And so just tell me what you see in the artwork of the card and how the card depicts that meaning. There is no right answer, or there is no wrong answer. Sorry. Okay, next on our list, we have Jackie.
Okay. Well, since I don't have a deck, I'm going to tell you what I see in this card. I
Awesome.
see a couple of different things. I see her looking at a faraway place and wanting to be in a better place. You know, obviously, it reminds me of the Little Mermaid, just because of the character there. But I also see that fire in the koi fish. So it's like that vibrance that is there. I also see that she's, you know, wanting to have that new beginning. She's wanting to embrace something that might not be in her normalness. So for me, that's what I'm actually seeing. It's that start of that new beginning to something that can be better, or in some cases it could probably be worse, depending on the circumstance.
Yes, I love that. And I love how you brought the element of the card into the koi fish, and even the element of the card into her thoughts and how she's feeling. I love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Awesome. So next we have, oh, Maddie already went. Awesome. So next we have Missy.
I have a couple books here, cards, but I kind of got out of it, like Maddie had said, look, a new beginning and taking like a leap of faith, and like, carefree and like in their own world.
Yes. Are you saying that the artwork on your cards depicts that?
Yes.
Cool. How does it depict that? What picture is shown on your cards?
Well, I have a couple. I have one with person, the raising their hands and like, yay, they've defeated something in the one deck. And then the other one is standing by the water. Both are by the water, of course, by the water and like casting a spell, and the cat's watching, and like they're waiting for something new.
Awesome. That is so cool. Thank you so much. That is wonderful. You guys are all analyzing the artwork so well. That is so awesome. Okay. Let's see, we have I agree, Maddie. I think that the artwork with the card on screen really shows that she's looking off into the distance at the castle. And that's such a wonderful way to show off Aquarius. And I think you can really see Aquarius in this picture. And a lot of people forget, a lot of people associate Aquarius with water because Aquarius is the water bearer. But Aquarius is a symbol of air. It is an air sign. And you can really see how she's staring off into the distance and she has all of these hopes and dreams. And that is such an Aquarius, like that's such a great way to paint an Aquarius, is by showing off.
You know what else was interesting is that there's birds in the background. So that's another reason why I kind of put it like towards the air too, but you still see that with the koi, it's kind of like, you know, popping up out of the water. So it's that fierceness that's there as well.
Yes. Ah, I agree. That is so cool. Next we have, did someone raise their hand?
I did.
Yay, what's up?
My tarot deck, they're all cats.
Oh, awesome. You have the cat deck. I love that deck, actually.
And I just started about 2 months ago. My friend got me into the witch thing, and I'm studying to be a green witch. So does every witch need a tarot deck, or is it just a common thing to have, or is it a necessity? Because sometimes I get confused when I read myself. I don't really get the answers I ask or need.
That is such a great question. Thank you. So for when you practice witchcraft, tarot is just one of the many divinations. Divinations are practices and tools that you use to be able to give someone guidance about their past, present, or future. Different divinations include tarot cards, they include runes, they include tea leaf reading, fire scrying, water scrying, anything that you use to give yourself or others guidance about your past, present, or future. So you definitely do not have to use tarot. No witch has to use tarot, but if tarot calls to you and you're interested in it, is a great divination tool.
I'm definitely curious about it, and I have fun doing it to my family. It's just, I get confused with the answer it gives me and putting all three together. It's like I get confused with what they're telling me.
Mm-hmm. So usually the book that it comes with, I'm going to be really blunt, is just a really horrible resource.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes that's why you're not finding the answer to be very straightforward or to be very helpful, is because the book isn't very good at actually reading the cards and depicting the meaning. So I suggest learning from a tarot reader, which means you are in the perfect place. So we teach classes that will show you how to read every single card and without having to just memorize a whole bunch of definitions. This class right here is a more advanced class. We're just focusing on the artwork because we've already gone over everything. But we do have classes that teach you how to read the minor arcana, which are the ones that go 1 through 10. So like the Ace of Cups and the 2 of Swords and the 3 of Pentacles. And then
Is it free?
Yeah, they're all free.
Could you send me a link later?
Of course. Are you able to send a message to the Facebook page where you saw this event?
Let me see. I think so.
Awesome. If you just shoot me a message, that's me, I own the page. So if you just shoot me a message on there, I will remember who you are and I can give you all the information and links that you need, and answer all of your questions.
It's called is that you, divination, or?
Yep, that's us.
I'm commenting right now.
Yay! Perfect. Thank you so much. Awesome.
Thank you for your intuition and your advice. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome. So, oh, what did Maddie say? Oh, that's very true, Maddie. That does happen a lot too. Or you ask a question and the universe is like, no, you need to stop focusing on that. I get that a lot when people ask about love, which I find to be kind of funny. And they'll ask if like this boy really likes them back, or if this girl likes them back, or whoever. And the cards will come up with a completely different answer that has nothing to do with the human that they have a crush on. And sometimes that's just the cards saying that that's not the most important thing right now. So next on our list is, we did Maddie, we did, oh, okay, and we did Missy. Tatieli. Tatieli, would you like to analyze the artwork of your tarot card or of the tarot card on screen? Okay, just so everyone knows, if you didn't give me an answer at all, which is totally fine, I completely understand, I will come back to you again and see if maybe after you've heard tons of examples and heard the other students talk, maybe you want to answer the next one. It's totally cool if you don't. You are never required to speak. Okay, so we are going to move on to the next card. One sec, I'm sorry. I'm eating peaches. Okay. So the next card that we are going to be analyzing is the High Priestess. Or I'm sorry, the Magician, then the High Priestess. My bad. I was like, are you sure, Alex? That's not the right one. Anyway, the Magician. Oh, and I can't spell. It's okay. Images. Let's look for a cool one. Ooh, that one's nifty. Yeah, that's totally okay, Maddie. I didn't even realize that we had gone over every card. I thought that this class was just going to be finishing up the definitions of the major arcana, but I realized I already did that. So we are starting art analysis, which is a really great class to just help everybody review. So even if you feel like this class is a little too advanced, you don't really know what's going on, please stay and hang out. This is just a class to help everybody review and help everybody kind of have fun and analyze artwork. So we have the Magician. Let's see what it says under here. Yeah, no. Okay, so don't pay attention to the definition or key meanings that it gives. You are missing 3, 4, and 5. Okay, cool. I can go back and look at the video that I posted most recently with the major arcana, see if I'm missing any, and and then I can do a class on Zoom of just those missing cards, just to make sure every single person has everything.
Because the next one I have is the Hierophant and then the Lovers. So I guess we are missing a couple.
Okay, I thought so. Cool. That's great. We'll do that all on Saturday. So our next class, every single major arcana card that's missing from the videos where I teach you the definition of every single major arcana card, all the ones that are missing, we will cover on Saturday.
Okay.
So,
What time Saturday? I'm sorry to interrupt.
oh, no problem at all. So let me look. I have it on the schedule.
Because I work Saturday and I want to make sure I don't miss it.
Awesome. I would love to, I'm so excited you're going to be there. So Saturday at 7 p.m.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, thank you.
Of course. Okay. Yes, today is our very, very first art analysis class. We have done some others, but they're not recorded. So as far as recordings go and actually classes that we've kept track of on YouTube, this is our very first art analysis class. So today we are just analyzing the artwork. Saturday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, we are going to go over all the major arcana cards that we missed and haven't gone over yet. So, the Magician. So the Magician is actually a really cool card. The Magician represents all of the elements. And it actually represents quite a few different, excuse me, as I choke on a pear. Okay, it actually represents quite a few different astrology signs as well, because it represents so many different elements. So can anybody tell me what astrology signs the Magician represents?
I know one's Virgo.
Yes, good job. Yes, it is.
The other one's Gemini.
Yes, awesome. Good job. So the Magician represents Gemini and Virgo. And if we look over here, you can also see, where was it? Here we go. So that also means that the Magician represents Mercury. And since both Gemini and Virgo are ruled by Mercury, it's the Magician heavily represents Mercury. And Mercury is the, well, first I want to see what you guys know. So can you guys tell me about Mercury and tell me about Virgo and tell me about Gemini and what, first we'll start there. Tell me about Mercury and Gemini and Virgo.
Kaya can tell you about Gemini. Gemini represents duality.
Mhm. Awesome. Yes.
Duality in all of its facets, light and dark, male, female, earth and sky, water and fire. Like it represents the balance, similar to the Libra, except Gemini tends to be the duality within our own selves as opposed to the external, which is where the Libra really reigns.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Kaya. Totally.
depends.
And I think the Virgo is more of the grounding of all that, like being more grounded.
Yes,
Grounded.
definitely. And then, so the magician in itself is someone who has the tools to accomplish anything that the magician sets their mind to. They have all of the tools, all of the knowledge, all of the wisdom, the practice. They are so good at communicating everything that they have learned, all of the knowledge that they have gained. They are extremely wise. And the magician, because of everything that you described when it comes to Gemini and Virgo, they have the grounding from that earth that they need. They have the very down-to-earth attitude. They have the ability to understand the physical world, the ability to understand how things work in the physical world, whether that means, you know, understanding how finances work, understanding how money works, understanding how business works, or just absolutely anything on the physical plane. People just tend to relate Earth with a lot of finance and money, but it can be anything that exists on the physical plane. And they have a very good, strong understanding of how it works literally. And then Gemini, not only is it every single thing that Kaya explained, but also it is, because it is an air sign, it is knowledge and intelligence and mental health and wisdom and education and all of those things that come with being an air sign, as well as communication, which is what gives the magician its ability to be able to communicate its thoughts and wisdom and knowledge with the entire world, or with everybody that needs to understand and communicate with the magician, for the magician to be able to accomplish and follow its goals. So if you get the magician card in a reading right side up, there is a very good chance that whatever you asked about is going extremely well, and that you have all of the tools and knowledge and education to be able to accomplish any goal that you are setting your mind to. And you can see in the artwork of the card just everything about the card. Just usually, no matter what deck you get, the magician tends to have earth, air, fire, and water depicted in the card. Here, it's kind of funny. It's a little bit harder to tell. For those of you who know, the alchemy symbols for earth, air, fire, and water are shown off here with the triangles. And the beautiful tattoo on this human's arm really helps show that is another that's one of the reasons I picked this picture. I really like all the alchemy references in it. I love alchemy. So it's another it's another alchemy symbol, just how I'm gonna say it. That's another alchemy symbol right there. It's also been used throughout many different traditions. That is also the iron pentacle that is used in fairy Wicca. That is also the Celtic pentagram got changed and evolved over time as it started to become used for more modern traditions. And that is what helped create the idea of the iron pentacle for fairy Wicca. So this is a very cool symbol. It's been used in many traditions throughout many, many years for witchcraft. And then of course you have the beautiful infinity symbol on top of their head, which is awesome. And they also look like they are able to control not only the air around them, but this the water that is inside of this beautiful portal. There is fire behind them with the huge burst and rays of the sun. So not only are you getting every element, but the person in the card is usually able to control every element. So this card is just really amazing. This is always the card I hope for whenever I get a reading and I ask whether or not my goals are going to be accomplished. But I want to see your cards and how you depict the artwork, or how you, what you think of the artwork in this card. So the very first person we are going to go to is Amy. Tell us about your deck or this card, or
If you could skip me for a second, I'm going into my room.
oh, no problem, of course. So next we have Becca.
Okay, hang on just a second. I'm getting my camera because it's hilarious.
Yay, awesome.
I have the same card.
Oh my God.
Can you see it?
Oh, I can. That is so
Yeah.
cool.
This is my favorite go-to deck. I love this deck. So it's the same on the screen. So I'm going to put mine down. So, you know, like you said, I mean, he is using every tool, every element, you know, all the triangles right there that depict earth, fire, air, and water. It's like the wind and stuff is moving that water into a whirlpool, and he's got like you said, all the elements there. So I think this is a really good depiction. And it's funny too, because I get this card a lot. I have Virgo sun and Gemini is my rising. So
that is so awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Go figure, you know? But yeah, and I was gonna say, but you said too that like he has that infinity symbol, which is like infinite ability to do, you know, to create whatever he wants to create using whatever tool he wants to use. So
Awesome. That is so cool that you just happen to have the exact same card. Wow. And yeah, thank you so much. You explained the artwork so beautifully. Awesome. Next we have, let's say, oh, is Kaya still here? Nope. I guess not. Okay, that's cool.
I'm still here and I found my musician card when you're ready to call my name.
Oh, awesome. Who was that?
Yvonne.
Oh, yay! Yvonne, tell me about your magician card. You are muted, just so you know. There we go.
I don't know if you can see me or not.
Yes, I can see you.
This is my cat card. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
I can't see you guys. And it looks like the cat is just reaching up. It's got some toys on the bottom, a cat bowl. It looks like a fishing pole. It's just very fun. I don't know what it's reaching up for, but I just like the artistic on it.
Awesome. Me too. It's a really cute card. I love that deck. I have that deck too.
I got the small one and the big one.
How do you think that the artwork on that card shows off the meaning that I described of the magician?
I really didn't know how to put it into words.
That is totally okay. No worries.
I just got them because they were super adorable.
They are super adorable. I love that card. Thank you so much for sharing.
No problem.
Next, we have Jackie.
So I see a little bit of a difference in the card than what you guys saw.
Oh,
I'm seeing it as the last airbender type deal. Um,
yes.
but
Right on.
here is the interesting part about it is, you know how you were describing the background of the color looks like the sun. For
Mhm.
me, I see a flame in the water where the actual water is coming up and it looks like the shape of what a flame would look like.
Oh, cool.
So I see, I mean,
Yes.
obviously all the elements are there. You know, you have the color of like the heat and the intensity behind the person. And the grounding of the person is underneath of them in the water, obviously. But I see that rise in that water being the air, yes, but it's more of the shape of a flame to me. So it's like that intensity of that level of passion, of that magic that he's bringing up into the elements.
Yes. Oh, I love that. That is such a cool way of looking at it.
Kind of
Yeah,
looks like it's water bending
Yeah,
It does.
from Avatar.
Yes, exactly.
I'm
And
a
I
little
can,
bit geek.
I can totally see how it would be like the Avatar, which I think the magician, if you have seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, I think the
Yes.
magician is such a wonderful way to depict the I think Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender is such a great way to depict the magician card and to describe the magician card, because that is what the magician is the master of all elements, and the one who has to not only be the master of all elements for himself and to help him achieve his own goals, but because of the Virgo and the Gemini inside of him, he's also the one that is going to help the entire world, or at least his world, and the people around him and the people that he loves, to achieve their goals and help them to communicate what their goals are. And so not only is the magician absolutely incredible when it comes to their own path in life, but they are also the teacher and the advisor and the ones who help all the people around them to accomplish their goals and to speak their truth and to let their voice carry. And the magician helps others to have a voice and to accomplish their goals. So Avatar is such an amazing love it.
I actually have that saved in my Paramount Plus picks to watch because of that. So I will be watching it soon. So
Yes.
you have to watch the cartoon version first.
The cartoon version makes more sense than the actual movie because the
Yeah.
movie doesn't like pinpoint everything.
What are you
yeah,
guys
it
talking
is.
about?
It is
The
a
movie
cartoon.
doesn't exist.
There is a movie.
The movie doesn't exist. What? No. They never made a movie. We don't talk about that. No. Okay. So we did Jackie. Next is Amy. Were you ready?
Sure.
Awesome.
Okay, so Scott, let me see where you can't see him. Here he is. Somewhere. Well, it's the regular one. And then my steampunk one. That one's confusing to me. They don't seem the same to me, but
Some of them are a lot of confusing.
this one, like if I drew it and had to read just from looking at it, I don't think I would be able to pinpoint the meaning on this one. Yeah, I really wouldn't. Just listening to you guys is all I know. You know,
You got a picture of it?
Here, hold on. Give me 1 second. I'll show you. Let me take my background off. Let me take it off. There we go. Okay. I moved to my bedroom. So this is the regular one I've got, and it's just the regular deck. And that one is like the other one, but this is my steampunk one.
Okay.
And well, first of all, it's very small. So I mean, he's standing on the pentagram. I see that. And I don't have very good eyes. These little ones are good for my hands, but they're not good for my eyes. You know, he's got the sword. I don't know if that little thing above him is supposed to be the infinity.
Oh, I bet it is. Yes. Because usually you'll find an infinity sign on most magicians.
Yeah. So, I mean, looking at it, even for me, it just looks like a squiggly line. You know, it's a very subtle. I can kind of see it's got little ones. So, I mean, it's got most of the same things, except for I don't know what is earth on this one. I see the fire. Well, that one's just confusing. I don't see a lot, but yeah, this is one I'd have to study more because I don't really know looking at it. Like the regular one, he's got his arm up in the air. You know, the first thing that would come to my mind is victory.
Yes. With the Rider Waite deck, for sure.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would that would definitely be my first thought, just looking at the card. I'd have to look at it more and figure out how the other things fit in, but that would be my first inclination would be victory on that one.
Definitely. I can see that with the Rider Waite deck. The Rider Waite deck, I'm pretty sure, also has him with like a wand. And I think in the Rider Waite deck, there is a cup, a wand,
Yep.
and a pentacle, and a sword.
A sword.
Yep. To show off every single element. Yep. And then the affinity sign above his head. Yes.
Yeah, this one is really clear. You can't miss it. The different elements you can really see. I'll have to have Becky look at the major arcana cards in my steampunk deck. She has much better eyes than I do, even though we're the same age. My eyes went to crap. The warranty expired on them. And I don't know, but the guy in this card, he looks like angry and mean. Like I would not want to meet this guy in an alley.
Maybe he's just having a bad hair day.
He's doing.
He doesn't look like he has any hair.
He's doing some serious work. Okay, he's concentrating.
Yeah, well, but then this guy looks like, you know, I mean, there's no smile on his face, but you still get a sense that he's happy or content with whatever he did or whatever he's going to do. And the other guy just looks like he's not finished. He's coming at you right now. He's coming. He probably stabbed it with that sword. But no, I get a lot more off of this card. One thing is the steampunk deck is dark. Everything is dark. I mean, I love all the different steampunk things. I think it's just everything's just really cool in it. But I'll have to go over those with Becky and we can see what we can find in them later.
Hey, Amy, can you put it back up because I couldn't see it?
Which one?
The steampunk one, huh? So
So you
I
see-
I can see the fire a little bit like in the candles.
Yeah,
and
there's
stuff.
candles behind him. Yeah,
And there looks like he's wearing a robe.
he is wearing a robe.
Yeah, and that's all I can see. I can see a little bit of a design on the floor, but
That's
I
the
can't see.
pentagram.
Okay. Is there like any kind of water element on it or
That I don't see. And the thing above his head, I think that
looks
that
like a
is the
saucer?
infinity. Yeah, but I think it's the infinity symbol. You have to look at it closely. It's hard to get a really good angle. You know,
I'm
you're-
wondering if it maybe because it's of the size of it, maybe it's like a UFO type deal. I know it sounds really weird, but
No, I can see that it curls up and it curls down. It's just like the lines get very fine, like it's really thick in there, and then it's like fades off.
Does he have a sword in his hand?
He does have a sword.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So that's the air.
Yeah,
but
he has
no,
a sword
but no
in his
water
hand.
sign.
What is? I don't know if you can see this. There's something on the ground by his feet.
It looks like a
Like a cup.
pentagram.
No, the pentagram is
It's
there.
a cup, isn't it? Which would be the water sign because that's the emotional side.
It looks like, I mean, it kind of looks like another sword. Or
Yeah,
a
see, I
wand.
can
Kind of
just,
look like
I
a
can just,
sword.
I can just see the pentacle. I can't see. I mean, I can see that there's something down there, but
It might be a wand. What is a wand?
All right. I got to
The
go
wand
look.
is fire.
Now Becky's got to come in and look at it.
Okay. Because yeah, a wand would be fire, a cup would be water, the
See,
sword.
that's what I don't. Oh, maybe the cup's over here on this side.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, it does look. I'm
Here.
starting to see because then the pentagram at the bottom would
There's an
be.
infinity symbol. He's got a cup in his hand. The torches are the fire, and the sword is
What's on the ground?
I don't know. It just looks like maybe his wand.
Yeah, that's what.
There you go.
He's
So
got
it's
a
got
cup.
all the elements.
Oh,
the sword,
okay.
the
So
wand, the cup, and
if
the
you look at how he has the hand crossed over him,
Oh, okay.
there's the cup.
Okay. So
And
that's
that's
like a
all
mystery.
four elements.
It's
That
like
is
a
the
mystery
pentagram.
card type deal. That's what it looks like. It's like
And then
it's
the
trying to be
wand is
mysterious.
on the ground right
Yes.
there, and then his sword.
Awesome. So we have
I
earth,
told you I
air,
needed
fire,
her eyes.
water.
I do that all the time. I'm like, what does this say?
Understand.
Now,
No,
are
but
all
I
those
think
cards
it's
like that, Amy? Are
in
all
the
those cards like that?
steampunk one. Yes, for
So
the
that
most part.
dark mystery.
Yeah,
type
that's
deal.
what steampunk is. That's
Okay.
the
Complicated.
style that it is. But I think it's good. I think it's good to have different cards
Yeah.
It is.
because we actually had to work and figure this crap out.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. That's what this class is all about.
What's
So
the
we had to work on
maximum
this
amount
one
of
to
cards
find
can
all
we
the
own?
different things. The
What?
yellow one, the rider weight, simple. That's basic. Everything's there that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And then we had to really analyze this. And I know that's why she had to come in. I know it's hard to see on the camera some of this stuff, but we did find everything. So that's cool.
It is. Thank you so much for sharing that. I agree. It is really fun. And that's what we're doing in this class is exactly that. What was your question? I feel like somebody was asking a question.
It's Yvonne. What's a maximum of a tarot reader? Is it I have cognitive, learning disabilities, so it's hard for me to speak.
That's okay.
Can you have multiple decks, or are you supposed to stay true to just your one deck?
You can definitely have as many decks as you want. Certain traditions of tarot believe that all of your decks should be gifted to you because the very first thing that your deck goes through is energy transference. Tarot cards read using energy transference. You hand someone your deck, they shuffle it and put their energy into it, and the cards read their energy. That is called energy transference. So some people believe that the very first thing your deck should go through is energy transference. It's a way to enchant and enhance the power of a deck. So that would be giving it and gifting it to someone else, because it goes from your energy to their energy and it transfers your energy to them. And that's the very first thing the deck does. So it's this symbol.
How do you know if, because I bought my decks, how do you know if they like you or not? Because I figured I was drawn to the cat deck really strongly.
Yay! Oh, that's awesome. So another thing that we learn in this series of classes, and we actually have not done this class yet, so don't worry, you're not behind. But we will go over how to enchant and bless your deck, and then how to communicate with it and talk to it and kind of get to know your deck and help your deck get to know you, so that you
Cool.
guys can be more of a team when reading together.
Thanks,
See, and I
guys. I'm
don't-
sorry I keep interrupting.
Oh no,
when
please,
I get,
love it.
whenever I get new decks, I don't even open them. I give them to Becky,
Aw.
and I let her, you know, get rid of any energy that's there and put her into it. And that way I'm starting with good energy.
Can you
Aw,
do that with anybody?
I got good energy. No, I'm kidding.
She
Becky
does.
got it right.
She usually has good energy.
Hey, Alex, if Amy's doing that, can you do that with anybody?
Yes.
Okay, because I mean, obviously, you know, I've been having a hard time trying to find a deck that's calling to me. So that would actually make more sense, and maybe why it's not calling to me, because all the decks that I've been coming across just are not good.
Try Amazon.
Well, no, it's the energy. It's not the deck.
I was gonna suggest for like the people who said they bought their own deck, just have somebody else shuffle them for you. Open them, shuffle them, kind of go through them a little bit, and then hand them to you. That way that there's that energy transference. What do you think, Alex?
I think that's a great idea. Yes.
Okay.
And you could always send them to somebody if you don't have, you know, like order the deck and have it shipped to someone that you want to put your energy in, and then they can send it to you.
Just use my mother.
Aw. So yeah, actually, for those of you who are enrolled in the Divination Academy, which Yvonne, I'm going to get you enrolled after this class. But if you've gone to look at the volunteer work page on the website, which is all optional volunteer work that you can do if you feel like it, one of them on there is buying a tarot deck for another student, so that they feel what it's like to have that energy transference.
That's awesome.
Okay, so our next person. Oh, by the way, everybody go look at what Maddie said for hers, because she gave a beautiful description of the artwork on her card. I love it. I haven't seen the magician depicted by two snakes. So
That is kind of weird.
that is so cool, because yeah, and are they making the infinity symbol?
Probably. The way she said they were intertwined.
Okay,
Tatiana,
can you guys hear me?
yes.
Okay, so I'm at work, so I don't really have my deck on me, but it's Orion's Animal Terror, and you can Google it. But I think that the snakes, they almost look like they're the same snake, and they have two heads, and they're all intertwined, and they go from like a red to a black.
That's the Mercury thing. Remember, Alex, the caduceus?
Yes.
Then that would track.
Oh, that is so cool. Okay, hold on. I want to see it. Now that you told me the name of the deck, let's try and look at it.
It's a really pretty deck. It's a really pretty deck.
That's so cool. That's so pretty. Is this it? The right one?
Yes, that's the right one.
Oh, I
That's
love it.
beautiful.
And Tatiana, to answer your question, so you tried to message our Facebook page? If you tried to message our Facebook page, next time That's what I meant on the divination page. Oh, like the website? Okay. Instead, go to our Facebook page or our Instagram and shoot us a message on there. Awesome. Thank you so much. I am so sorry that that happened. And then I will get you enrolled immediately. But yeah, this card is so cool. Okay, so let's analyze.
Is that a lotus flower on the wand?
It looks like it.
Because that could represent water because they grow in water, and it looks like the planet is the Earth.
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell what kind of flower that was, but there's also roses at the bottom of that staff too. So
Oh, there is.
You know what that reminds me of, Becca? Is like a tiger lily too.
yeah,
Which is like an orange tiger lily, which
Yeah,
is a
tiger lily.
fire symbol too.
Yeah.
So it looks like in this card, we have the wand, obviously. And then the flowers could represent earth. The sword obviously represents air. The wand represents fire. And then what it looks like to me is the moon in the background, which of course would represent water.
right.
Which is super cool. And then I can see.
I definitely read their wand as more of a staff and like an open space in the back. I don't know, because I was thinking maybe open space like air and space, maybe. I don't know. But it
I
definitely
see that line on the bottom, like it looks like almost like and almost like a air like flowing through like space.
Yeah, I can
and
see
stuff.
that too.
Yes. And
I love that serpent though, because it reminds me of the line 5, Alex.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, they are so beautiful. And then definitely in some tarot decks too, which is good to bring up, sometimes they replace the word wands with staffs. So
Duly noted.
a staff would work too, and they both represent fire. So
Right. Okay.
awesome. Okay, let's see. Did we get everybody? We got Amy, we got Becca, we got Jackie and Maddie. Oh, Missy, can you analyze either this card or hold on, or this card or your own card?
Well, I'm looking at your card. Your card really, that appeals to me. That's beautiful. And when I look at your card, yeah, I get mystery or mysterious, or powerful. And when I look at mine, I have all the tools. I have the wand, the pentagon, the cup, and so you have all the tools available, and his hands are out and they have infinity. It looks like rope, but they're in affinity. And then above his head, it's like a light, like lit up for like powerful or spiritual or, concentrating, and then it's got red roses up above it, and it also has the water behind it. But I'm looking at both and I see different things in it. It's really pretty cool.
Yes. Oh, that is awesome. I love it. Yeah, I see the same thing. I was really drawn to this card. I've never seen this deck before, so it was actually really cool that one of the students had this deck. That's awesome. But I can definitely see everything that you said. Thank you so much for sharing that. I agree entirely.
What is this deck that you are showing?
Which one of you was it that had
It's me. It's the Light Seers Tarot.
Ah, Light
Okay.
Seers Tarot.
Yeah, it's really, really appealing. It's got a lot of things in it. Yeah.
Isn't it? It's so pretty. I kind of want this deck now.
Same.
Yeah, okay. And then it gives you kind of, oh, I see. And then it shows you this one versus the Rider-Waite. Cool. Don't follow these definitions, but the card is beautiful. Okay, and then next we have Ophelia. If you would like to share, please feel free. Would you like to share?
I don't. I'm working, but I can comment on the one on the screen.
Okay, awesome. I would love that.
Okay. I don't have much into tarot. I'm just starting now, but what I see is like magicians say, they create magic. The tarot that I have at home is the one that they said to start with, which is the
Rider-Waite.
yes, correct. So somebody posted that card on the screen, and what I see is like pretty much it does have all the elements. It have the cup, the pentagon, and what I look is like it's pointing up. So pretty much it's like pulling the energy from the I don't know, from the sky maybe into the table.
Oh, I love that. Yes, I can totally see that. You're describing, yeah. So this card right here.
Yes, that's it. That's what I have at home. Yes.
Definitely.
And the cup, which is for me is the meaning of water, and water is clear, and which is supposed to be like clear and purified, and have the infinity sign over his head, which is like you said, infinity, so it's no beginning, no end. The white cover that he's using, the same white as normally stand for purity, and I don't know, it's just my idea of how I can interpret the card.
I love that. Thank you. And I love how you said taking energy from the sky, using the wand. That is such, I love that. Yes.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
I just went to my mom's. She lives in a trailer in the backyard behind my grandma's property, and I had her shuffle it and hand it to me. Is that how it works?
Yes, exactly. Perfect.
Awesome. Okay.
So next, if you would like to share, Tatieli, you are next.
I'm laughing at you, Amy. Sorry.
I know.
He's just getting comfortable, that's all.
Oh, my back hurts. I was making shampoo earlier.
Oh, that's not good.
Huh?
Oh, Ophelia is the same as Tatieli. Awesome. Thank you for letting me know that. Cool. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. All right. So next we have the High Priestess. So we are
I
going.
seem to draw that card a lot.
Yeah? Oh, that is
Yeah.
so cool. The High Priestess is such an awesome card.
Can you give the meaning of that one? Because I don't have it.
Yes, we're gonna go over the meaning of that one. Let me find an image, and then
She
yeah,
seems to like me a lot.
which is amazing. That is, I love the high. Ooh, that one's cool. It's kind of blurry though. Let's
And kind of dull, lifeless color.
let's see.
There's that lady with red hair and a moon on her forehead.
I
That's
was
different.
just looking at that one. That one is beautiful. Okay, let's. Oh, look, it's the same.
That was going to be my card to share.
Wow. Okay, you know what? Instead,
Oh,
let's just because I really want you to be able to share your cards without it being the same one as the group.
Yeah, this one's perfect.
Let's see. Oh my gosh. Scroll. Here we go. Let's see. Ooh. Hey, you're cool. No, you're not. No, you're not going to show me a picture of you, are you?
You should find the
It kind of
steampunk
looks like a
version
nun.
The
so you can
steampunk?
actually see it.
Okay. Let's see.
'Cause I have it. It looks cool, but I'm doing the same thing, trying to find everything because it's so small. I think I need to get the grown-up version. I got the little baby version. And look at the
My High
difference.
Priestess card is actually depicted by a black wolf.
Look at the
Oh,
difference
Oh,
in
that's
size.
cool. Here we
Let
go.
me
The
see if I can
steampunk.
find mine.
If it's awesome.
That
Okay.
is it.
That's really pretty.
I really
You know
like
why
this.
I love it?
This is a great one. Okay. So the High Priestess. The High Priestess is represented by the moon and Cancer. So does anybody want to tell me a little bit about Cancer or what they know about Cancer?
I have no clue about any of the astrology
That is
except for
okay.
my own. Except
I
for
know about
Capricorn.
Cancer.
We'll let
Okay.
Jackie know because Jackie isn't Jackie a water sign? Well,
I am a Cancer.
Yes. Tell us about Cancer, Jackie.
Honey, we crazy.
As is the High Priestess.
Yes. I'm
But in the
crazy.
most
I'm
wonderful way.
emotional.
Yeah.
You know, I can just be the biggest supporter, but I could be your worst enemy. You know, I'm that mystery woman. Just that, and that's what I see in that card. It's like, okay, I can tell you what you want to know, but it's gonna cost you. That's what I see.
Yeah.
I see her, hey, I'm here, I'm looking at you, but I'm not gonna give you the answers you want right yet, not until I see exactly what I'm gonna get out of it, type of deal. That's what that card says to me right there.
Oh, I love that. It's such a Cancer thing to just like read the expression on her face and be able to tell an entire story. So
Yeah.
thank you, Jackie.
No problem.
So yes, not only did Jackie describe it really well, but she showed it off really well, which I actually love the way that this card depicts the High Priestess for the reason I'm about to explain to you. So Cancer and the moon. The water sign of Cancer, as Jackie explained, is beautifully emotional. You are going to know exactly how they feel at all times. They wear their emotions on their sleeves. But something that's special about the High Priestess is that they are known for their empathy. And when I say that, I don't just mean the empathic ability to take care of and love others and to feel what others are feeling and be able to use that in a very therapeutic, healing way for others, but also this idea that they can read what you're thinking. And so I love that this High Priestess card has her as a tarot reader. That is just so great because that is such a High Priestess thing, is to be able to empathically read how you're feeling because they understand their own emotions so well. They have also usually, if you're getting the High Priestess card, usually, and it represents you as a person. So the High Priestess herself represents somebody who's usually been through a lot. So
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
yeah. So somebody who has been through a lot, which means that their empathic ability is not just coming from intuition. It's coming from the fact that they've been there. So they know what it's like. So they have empathy because they've been through it. So they're able to help you because they've already been there, done that, and they have been through so much.
You know what else I actually see in this card? It's actually, I didn't realize it till just now. So on the left-hand side, when I'm actually looking at it, it looks like the gears over here are a little darker than the ones on the right-hand side.
Yes.
And so it'd be like a toss between like the light and the dark. Obviously, with the moon and stuff is represented in the actual crystal ball. It looks like, But the thing that's around her neck looks like almost like a scuba like thing that you.
Oh, it
Like
does.
a mouthpiece or something.
Yeah. And then the cloth, it looks like it also has like lines on the actual cloth itself. It looks like, you know, like a water type deal.
It does, and she's got the triple moon goddess on her crystal ball. I don't know if you guys know that, but that's this triple moon goddess. So that
What's
is
the triple moon goddess?
so the triple moon goddess is a symbol of the different phases of the moon: the maiden, the mother, and the crone. So the maiden being the young child, the mother being the adult, and the crone being the old woman. And the triple goddess symbol right here on her crystal ball shows the phases of life that we go through, and they're represented by a goddess who is the maiden, the mother, and the crone.
Amy, I really like these cards you got. Those
I
are
love
cool.
them.
She looks like almost like she's in between that mother and that crone stage with just that little bit of gray hanging in her hair, but not too much gray because she doesn't want to seem, you know, like she's a crone.
Old.
Yeah. But you know, she
Just
has
say
that,
it.
she has well, I'm old too, honey. She has that voluptuous
We all old.
style in her clothes as well. I mean, and I don't know very much about the steampunk field, so that's kind of like, you know, out of my element here. But I love the corset because it makes her look sexy.
No, I love these cards, and now I really need to get the
Bigger set,
grown-up version. The grown-up version.
the grown-up version.
The version you can read.
I like
Yeah.
that. I think that's actually really.
Well, and this is, I don't know if you can see the back.
Ooh.
So this is the back of each of the cards, and it's got the sword and the pentacle and the cup and the wand.
So it's all four of the
Cool.
elements on it.
That's awesome.
I like that
Yeah.
card.
I do too. So another thing about the High Priestess is that usually the High Priestess, which is what always made me think that it was actually Aquarius, because Aquarius are known for this. So if in any of my videos you see me mistake this card for Aquarius, that is why. But Aquarius is known for kind of living in this other world in her head. And I don't associate that as much with Cancer, but apparently it is a huge part of Cancer. So the High Priestess is known for being very empathetic, being very loving, being very caring, being able to read others super easy and super fast, being able to give other people advice, being an incredible magician, meaning that she's somebody who magic comes naturally to. Even if you've never done it before, even if you have no idea what you're doing, it comes naturally to her. And that just doesn't mean witchy. That means that, like, you might be walking down the street thinking, you know, it's so hot. I really wish that the clouds would just cover the sun for 5 minutes, and suddenly it gets shady. Or that you were really, really thinking about a person and suddenly they call you and suddenly they show up. Just little bits of tiny magic that happen in your life that just seem like coincidences, but coincidences seem to happen to you every single day. That is the High Priestess. But also, you tend to live in this world in your head where sometimes you get lost in your own head and it can kind of blur with your reality. The High Priestess is definitely known to be a little crazy. She is just a little bit, just a little bit crazy, and in a wonderful way. It's not like a bad thing, but just that sometimes.
Hey, Alex, what happens if that card is reversed though? Because obviously, if it's in a upright standing, obviously you get all the positiveness. But if it's in a upside down, where it's actually in the negative sense, would that be like the I dare say this, the crazier side of the Cancer?
Yes, that's exactly what I was getting at with my description there, was that when you flip this card upside down, the High Priestess not only becomes a lot more crazy, you get that extreme emotional crazy, somebody who is very self-conscious, somebody who is very overwhelmed and emotionally unstable, but
Unhinged.
also anybody who looked up to the high priestess. The high priestess is usually a leader, usually a teacher and a leader, and somebody who others want to follow because they can feel her magic, just feel her presence and her light and her energy and her empathy. But flipped upside down, people start to fear her. They start to
somebody flipped the bitch switch.
yeah.
So she becomes unhinged.
Yes,
basically.
and
Okay.
people tend to lose their respect for her. They tend to not want to follow her anymore. And it's really hard for the high priestess to gain that respect back, which kind of leads her into this spiral of going more crazy because nobody trusts her anymore and everybody kind of
She
thinks,
sounds fun.
yeah, she's fun. Yeah. And I feel like anybody who's a Cancer or has a lot of water in their chart can really relate to a lot of this. And the high priestess, being the moon and Cancer, is just so heavy in water that anybody who has a lot of water in their astrology chart can really relate to a lot of these things just in general.
Capricorn,
Capricorn is Earth.
but isn't it part fish?
Capricorn? No.
It's the goat.
Pisces.
So here are if you wanted to know, so here are the elements behind each sign. So we have Earth is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Fire is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Air is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And water is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces.
Oh.
Yeah.
I always thought since the goat was half like fish and half mountain goat that it had earth and water.
I have a question.
Yes.
So when you mentioned that is if you have a lot of okay, let me rephrase that. Okay. Do you mean the element on the or what is a lot of water sign on your birth chart?
Oh, your birth chart.
On the birth chart. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Thank you.
Of course. So you will notice that with the major arcana, this is the only time that I'm going to bring in astrology, because even though a lot of modern tarot readers and a lot of modern readers or modern witchcraft writers in general really like to apply astrology to the court cards and the minor arcana, originally they have nothing to do with that because they are not from Europe. And tropical astrology actually stemmed from Egypt and then moved up into Europe. But tropical astrology, the way that we know it, which are these astrology signs you're looking at right now, are very Greek and Roman, even if they do have roots in Egypt and Africa. And the minor arcana and the court cards actually stem and come from the Middle East. They come from Iran, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Afghanistan. And so you have the Arabic and ancient Arabian numerology, which is what is used to read the minor arcana and the court cards. Whereas the major arcana came much later after this ancient form of cartomancy, which is what they called tarot before the addition of the major arcana. It came to Italy via trade ships and word of mouth. And once it got to Europe and Italy, they started adding major arcana cards, the ones that we're talking about tonight, which is why they sound very European. And they related them to their astrology, which is the astrology that we're looking at now. So it's very difficult not to use astrology when dealing with the minor arcana and the
Excuse you.
now we are going to go back to this beautiful girl right here. Okay, so now that I described to you the meaning of the high priestess, we talked about the meaning of the high priestess, how she relates to Cancer and the moon. Now I am going to once again have you guys tell me what she looks like in your deck and how the artwork in your deck depicts the meaning of the High Priestess. So, yeah, so the very first person that we're going to call is, or like I said, if you don't have a deck, please feel free to use the card that's on screen to talk about the artwork. So let's start with, let's start with Becca.
All right, so you guys know I have this one. Can you guys see it?
Yes, it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
So, you know, I don't know if you can see her eyes, but they're closed, but you can still see her eyeballs. Can you
That's
see that?
Let me see.
Can you see it?
Oh, now I see it.
So cool.
Hey, Alex, can you pull up that card that she has so I can see it? Because I can't see it.
Of course. Yeah, no problem. Here, let's pull it up. I know it was on this screen. Hang on.
There's one with the red hair, she said.
Yep, I have to minimize. There we go.
Red hair and a moon.
Oh, this was, I forgot I did a second search for the steampunk deck. Hold on. Boop. There she is.
I don't know why, but this deck kind of reminds me of Sailor Moon a little bit.
Yeah.
I can totally see that.
So you can see her eyes, even though her eyes are closed.
Oh, you
still see her.
can.
And then her third eye is lit up.
Yes.
And
Oh, yeah.
got the moon on top of her head. And if you look up at the very top, you can also see runes up on the curtains at the very top corners.
Yep.
So it's like she's very multi-dimensional in the ways that she can do her divination. And she's very intuitive, you know, spiritually psychic, insights, and like you said, the empathy. She's got that little cross like traditional High Priestess has on the Rider Waite Tarot on her neck right there. And just, you know, she's just, you can see her just in a deep meditative state, and she's just really in like getting into her intuition, and it's all coming out. And it's almost like the light, like those little things coming up from the top is just like information going up and down into her, you know, from the universe.
Yes. Oh, I love that. And it does depict it so well. And something else that I love too is that this card upside down depicts it very well too, because if you were to flip her upside down, not only would the moon completely change, but the entire card would change to make it seem like a lot of her emotions and magic are kind of just pouring out all over the floor. They're very chaotic.
Right.
And so that would show kind of just like the upside down High Priestess very well as well. So I really like the artwork in this card.
Hey, Alex, you know what I find interesting, and I'm sorry to interrupt you. The ruin that's on the top, on the right-hand side, the P one, that's actually fire and air. So the rest of those symbolizations are not all water, though, are they?
No, they are not. Which is a wonderful observation that the High Priestess card is trying to show off, because fire, as we know from some of our other classes, is a symbol for divination work, and air is a symbol for that intelligence and intellect and thought. And so this card is not only showing off the moon and her water, but it's also showing off her magic and her divination and her wisdom and intellect, and that's beautiful. Thank you so much, Becca. That was awesome.
Welcome.
Next, we have let's do Missy. If you would like to share, Missy.
Sorry, I was in the other room when I came in.
No problem.
Yeah, this one it appealed to me, seeing that the one the wheels on the left look black and the other look white. So it kind of like different sides or different views.
Yes.
And I don't know. I got the same thing with her look in her face. That, I'll tell you what you want, but not everything kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And my son is Cancer, so he wears his heart on his sleeve. Very sensitive.
Aw.
Yeah. But they come across, stronger, but they're very sensitive. They'll take things to heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because they are so empathetic and feeling, to other people.
Exactly. Yep, and they tend to take in so much of everybody else's emotions and feelings.
Yeah, and they do get overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a point of being overwhelmed because they want to fix it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. I love that. Next, let's see. Oh, did they spell Madison wrong on the priestess card? I didn't even notice that. That's funny. Oh, and I love that from Prince. I like that you say that from Princess and the Frog, because the guy that you're talking about, I know exactly who you're talking about. And the guy that they're depicting in that is supposed to be a somebody who comes from the South and practices hoodoo, which stems from
That's what I
Yoruba.
thought.
Yep. And hoodoo and voodoo stem from the practice Yoruba from Africa, when and then of course during colonialism and slavery, when they came to, or not when they came to, when they were ripped from their homes and tragically taken to this country. That is when a lot of the culture spread throughout the southern United States, and a lot of the cultures and practices from Yoruba became hoodoo, and a lot of those cultures got mixed, and that is what Princess and the Frog is trying to depict. And so I love that you say that, because totally it does.
I love that movie. I love it.
Yeah. Did you have anything else to add about the artwork in the card, Maddie?
For my card or for this one?
Either one, for your card, for this one, whichever one you would like to do.
I have to agree with everybody for this card that that face is definitely a little sneaky. It's almost kind of like, I'll tell you what you need to know when you need to know it.
Yes.
And for mine, I have a wolf that is sitting in between two pillars, and the crescent moon is kind of like what it's sitting on, and you can see a highlight in between the eyes of the wolf, I guess, for like the third eye. But then there's something above him that kind of almost looks like a crown, but there's a circle in the middle of it. I don't know, it's really weird, but it's really pretty art. But you definitely sense a thing of like power and knowledge when you see that card.
Yes.
Like, I hold the answers, and yes, I'll give them to you when you need them.
Agree entirely. And that says a lot too, because it's very it fits the High Priestess card very, very well.
Right.
And that aspect of Cancer, and Cancers love to be mysterious, and sometimes they can be kind of cocky and kind of braggy and kind of, you know, but yet, of
A
course,
hint of arrogance in the air.
but of course, because they are so good at what they do, they are so empathetic and they are so able to read you, that them being kind of cocky like that and kind of mysterious and those types of things fits really, really well, because, you know, they are good enough that they can be braggy. And
Right. Straddling that line between confidence and arrogance.
exactly.
And that also kind of helps shield their energy, you know,
Yep.
from they're so empathic, they have to shield their energy because they're always reading and doing stuff, you know.
Right.
Exactly. Which is a great way to shield their energy, which is awesome. And I think that a lot of the other signs too that aren't, I don't know, like for I'm a Sagittarius and I have fire throughout almost every single house in my entire chart is just fire, which is hilarious. But water, Cancers and I definitely do not approach life in the same way at all. So it's always very interesting to me, because I have never once in my life gotten the High Priestess card to describe me. Not ever. And so
I've got it several times.
that is awesome. That is so cool. The High Priestess card is such a special, beautiful card. You have so much empathy, and you are able to read people and practice magic in such a unique, cool way. And that is really admirable. I'm jealous. The next person, let's go with Yvonne. Why don't you tell us what you see in the artwork?
I don't know if you guys can see me or not, or see the card. Let me see here.
It looks like your camera is facing the opposite direction. There we go. Yep.
So, my kitty, she's got a witch hat on. She's got the pentagram necklace. She's got a potion bottle with a couple candles on the bottom, with a moon hanging in the behind her. To me, she reminds me of a familiar, or she's a mini version of her master, or something like a witch's cat.
Aww. I love that. And that depicts the High Priestess card so well. Oh, good night, Missy. I hope to hear from you if you want to enroll in the academy. But no, I love that, Yvonne, and that's so true. I think that actually that card, because I have the cat deck, and the cat deck definitely has trouble kind of using imagery to depict the actual meaning of the card. A lot of it is just very cute and cat-like, which I love, but doesn't depict the meaning so well. But this card, I think this one depicts the meaning of the High Priestess pretty well.
It's quite interesting. I wouldn't know how to describe it for what I just see it as. The reason I picked the cat deck is because I love animals so much that I couldn't find a dog deck or a horse deck. So I was like, okay, I'll get a cat deck.
Aw. I love it. And yeah, definitely. I think that just having the cat wear the witch's hat and have on the pentagram and look like a familiar just really shows all of the magic and empathy, I think, that the High Priestess really has. Because
it does kind of remind me of a witch's familiar a little bit more.
Yeah. And having that empathy is one of the very first forms of magic that is really easy to just see in a person. It has nothing to do with whether or not they practice or train in witchcraft. Some people are just naturally empathetic. And so depicting
I'm super sensitive. I wear my heart on my sleeve.
Aww.
I always feel like when I meet people, like I could read them and how they are or I could perceive them.
Wow. I can't wait to have you at the academy. It's awesome. It is so cool.
I can't wait to learn more.
Well, thank you so much for describing that card. That is awesome. And I think that,
Not a problem. Thank
Yeah.
you.
of course. Okay. Next, let's have Jackie.
Okay. So I actually, if you wouldn't mind, can I see Becca's card? Because I think
Of
obviously I want to like kind of compare them two together if possible. Just 'cause
Yes.
I think they're so totally different. With the one Becca has, I mean, obviously I see all the elements there in that one versus the one that Amy had.
Yes.
But with the one Becca has, it looks like almost, I mean, obviously I see the eyes and she can like, Cancers are known for being able to dwell in the past more than the future, I think. As far as that goes, I mean, you could see like, it's almost like she's underwater type deal because you can see the lines. And it, for me at least, it's like almost like if you're underneath like the ocean, you're looking, but you don't want to open up your eyes because if you do, all that salt water and all that chlorine and all that stuff in the waters are actually going to get in your eyes. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but that's what I'm actually.
Well,
like,
yeah,
seeing.
because her hair, you can see how her
Yeah.
hair is kind of
It's
up,
like flowing, almost like there's a picture, Alex, and I can't remember the name of it, of a woman that has the red hair, but her body is of koi, and she's like a mermaid, and
Oh,
it looks like fire. I can't think of the name. I'll find the picture and post it later, but yeah, I can see that. But the weird part about it with this one is the pink in the back, and I take that.
yeah.
That's why I was wondering about if all those ruins are the different elements, because it's like that awakening she has for
They are.
the
Each one of those runes does represent a different element. You are
yeah.
correct.
So
know-
it's like it's an awakening of her mental state. It's that awakening of her, hey, I can figure this world out and still not have to open my eyes to figure it out.
Yes.
I also
And-
see like maybe her projecting herself into the universe as well.
Yeah,
because-
like an astral projection.
right.
Oh, cool. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if
But-
you guys have noticed either, but on one side you have like a black, darker smoke or whatever the
Yes.
really stuff is, and then on the other side, so it's like you're kind of in the middle of the realms,
Yeah,
this-
it's the
seeking and reading for answers, kind of thing.
the positive and the negative.
Yes.
But the other interesting thing I see also is around her neck. That blue cloth that's around her neck reminds me of a like turquoise jewelry, like native the
Yeah,
Native
like some
American.
kind of dressing.
Yeah, like a not like a headdress, but like yeah, like the actual clothing
Yeah.
in its sense. And it looks like her body is almost naked, other than that piece of clothing that's on it.
Yes. I think so too. I also think too, I don't know, her earrings look like scrolls. And it
Yeah.
kind of looks like information that she can, like I said, she is a leader, she is a teacher and a role model and somebody who teaches magic to others. And so the
So they look
scrolls
like
with her ear-
feathers for me. I can't really see them really closely, but they look like feathers.
Oh, okay, here, let's see if I can. Oh no, it won't let me. Okay. Oh, wait, maybe. Hold on. Yeah, okay, hold on. See?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, and then it has moons on it too. There's that one
Yep.
moon on the corner. So yeah, I could definitely see it. It's almost like like you said, like a scroll. So it's like that extra bit of knowledge.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
I love how her eyes are though. It's like
Me too.
like with the one with Amy's deck where she has that mysterious like I know things look. She has it here as well. It's you feel the radiation coming off of her.
You do. This is such a beautiful card. I agree. You can feel the energy coming off of her, and like the way that her eyes are open but closed is so cool.
Yeah, she's got that face like that confident, like in that meditative, that just poise, you know?
Yeah.
Like she's quiet, but yet you know deep down inside she's like that thinker, that person that always has something on the back of her mind, but maybe she's just not confident enough to open her eyes to shine it out for others to see.
Agree. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jackie. I love it. Let's see. Who have I not called on yet? Please tell me because I forgot. Becca, did you already go? Yes, you did. Amy. Did I call Amy?
No, Amy
Did you
didn't
call-
go yet.
Okay, Amy, it's your turn.
Wake me up from my nap. Okay, I gotta switch this so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. So again, Rider Waite, so very different than the other ones.
Yeah.
You've got the light and the dark. I don't know the significance of the letters. The B and the J.
Actually, you know what? Me neither.
Well, there you go.
I
There
always
you
thought
go.
I always thought it was like balance and justice, but I didn't know. So,
Oh, balance and justice, or like balance and judgment. I can see that.
So-
too. You know, I should figure that out.
I could definitely see that because it's the dark and the light side and stuff. So it's like the good versus the evil type deal.
Okay, and if you look in her hands, she has a scroll.
Oh, she does. Yep.
So she's got that. So the first thing when you look at this specific card is the light and the dark jump out at you. I do believe my ex-husband is a Cancer. His birthday's June 28th, but he is nothing
same.
like any of this.
Is he upside down?
Nope. He must be. He must be in the upside down. He's just, yeah, no. So I don't, and I think my dad was, but that is a long time ago. So we got the moon. So there's your moon at the bottom.
Yep.
Got the cross. If you could see it around her neck. And then she has got the crystal ball on top of her head, like a
Ah,
crown.
yes.
That's the same symbol I was talking about that was on my High Priestess
And I
card.
know, I that's what came to my. I said that's what's on my card
Right.
when you were talking about that.
Yeah,
But
mine
if
also
you-
has the crescent moon at the feet. Is that like a symbolism of something or?
I don't.
The crescent moon at her feet. Once again, I think that just because she represents the moon, that every single high priestess card is going to have some symbolism of the moon.
Okay. And
And her face, I don't know. She looks kind of surprised. I don't know, something about the way her mouth is. It's not open, it's not closed.
Yeah.
they're kind of pursed.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that fruit in the background too of her?
It
yeah,
is-
Are you talking about the red?
Yeah.
I always thought that was
They're nuts. They
people
look
I
like
would-
nuts to me.
Oh, are they nuts?
To
That's
Awesome.
what they
represent
look
the
like.
Cancer because
It's not
they
a
are nuts.
peach.
Ooh, I like that. That's a
That's what
wonderful
they-
interpretation.
That's
they're
what they look
nuts?
like.
Well, because that they're Cancer, the symbol.
So then you've got, I don't know exactly what that means, that triangle, and then you've got that one that's,
Yeah,
I
you've
don't
got
know.
one that's empty and one that's filled with lines.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be the
And
past and the future type deal?
That would be really cool. I think that's an awesome, yeah, because this one's empty and that one's supposed to like the past and present or the past and future.
well, and if you notice the empty, the one that shows empty is the dark side. So that's the dark side is the one that shows the center empty, and then you've got the light and it's full.
Right.
Which would make
So-
sense because the past you obviously can't technically go to.
You
But-
can't do anything about it either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the
Into the
future one
future.
you definitely can because it's in the light. I can embrace that light or whatever the case would be. I could definitely see that.
Yeah, me too.
What is that
So
around
the-
her neck though?
There's nothing, it's weird. There's nothing really around her neck. Like there's not a chain. It's like in her clothing.
Yeah.
That's an interesting sign though to put on it.
So yeah, she's, I guess on the scroll is the runes, right?
No, on the scroll to me, it looks like letters, like just normal
Yeah.
English.
It almost looks
letters.
like it says terror.
It does. It almost looks like it says like tarot or
T-O-R-A.
Torah.
That's
Maybe.
That's
The
interesting.
Torah.
Huh? Do you guys think they're trying to depict all the monotheistic religions?
That's what it looks like.
You've got the cross. That's not the correct way to spell Torah, but there might be an A
Well,
in
she
there.
might be covering it with her jacket or
And then
her.
this could be the triple goddess up at her hat right here with the full moon and the two crescents. It could be.
With the could that stuff in the back be fruit? Because in mine it looks like it's got fruit.
I would have to, like once again, Amy's got bad eyes.
It looks like
Okay, if you
like-
can you zoom in on that? They look like pine
Palm
cones
tree.
or
Yeah.
well, not her.
Yeah.
I can see pine cones and like a
They do
palm
kind of
tree
Yeah.
type deal.
Those-
The only fruit, quote unquote, I would even say those look like would be avocados, and they're not.
Right.
The seed of an avocado. Yeah.
I don't know. In my
But
card, they
an
look like
avocado
plums.
is smooth, so
Yeah.
I don't. But I really want to know what the letters mean, the B and the J.
But then again, it does look like pine trees also.
Yeah.
It does. It does look like pine trees or even pineapples.
Figs. It's figs. It's figs.
Oh,
It's
is it
figs.
figs? That would
Okay,
make a
I
lot of
think they're
sense with the whole
That makes
monotheistic religion thing going on here, because figs are a great representation of both Judaism and Islam and Catholicism.
Okay,
Which-
Yeah, I
the
think that's what's on
J-
mine as well.
I just found something, I think on the book, look like on the pillars, the black one, they have the B, it stands for boss, and on the gray white one, the J stands for Yashin, which is Mystic's letter on the Temple of Solomon.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Once again, it's a like Catholicism reference.
Yeah,
Cool. So they're really trying hard here to depict all of the monotheistic religions. We have Judaism, we have Catholicism, we have Islam, and
uh-huh.
it's depicting all of the Abrahamic religions, which
Yeah, I would not get anything as far as a Cancer out of this card versus like the other cards that were more artistic.
Well, what I do
Hmm.
see is when I look at her, she looks like the person that has all the answers.
Yeah.
Like
Most
you look at her and she does not look like she has a bit of confusion. You know, she's sitting there, she knows who she is and knows what you're going to ask and knows whether she's going to give you the answer or not.
Next question.
She's like the oracle.
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
you know
I
what?
can see
Her
it that way.
headpiece, to me, looks like Isis. Her head thing, you know, but
Oh, I
all
could
hers
see
is red.
Yeah, I can see that.
So,
Definitely. I could also see like, I don't know, a Pope thing going on.
You know what? That I thought
Yeah.
like that kind of came to my head like well, because you in Catholicism, you know, the highest calling there is for women is a nun.
Yep.
So, you know, this is what to me kind of like the female version of a Catholic priest sits there and has that
Which
stoic.
is the priestess.
Well,
Right.
yeah, no.
The
And-
only thing I see for like the water would be like the flowing of the garment she's wearing.
Yeah, it definitely looks like water down here. And then of course the moon, which
Yeah.
does
Mhm.
symbolize Cancer and water as well. And then
Well, I mean, that could actually be water behind her
it could. I can see that back
because
here.
that's not I mean, it's not necessarily a wall. She's
Oh
pillars,
yeah,
and that
it's
could
like
be a tapestry. A tapestry.
back
Yeah.
behind where the J is. Yeah, you could see the background like she's like that's a lake or like
Mhm.
she's sitting on a bank or something, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Alex, that series, this card right here, is that the series that you were talking about was from Italy?
Yep.
Which would
Rider-Waite.
actually make sense though with all the different types of spirituality that's actually described in the card.
A lot of Catholic symbolism is in
Yeah.
them too. Yeah.
Did someone else say something about that B standing for Buddhism and the J for Judaism?
That would be cool.
No, that's not what
I'm
she
not-
said.
I know somebody said something about the EJ.
It
No,
was Ophelia.
Yep.
But the thing I do like about the the Rider-Waite cards, and I'm glad that this was my first deck, is they're really clear, and I think that it's a really good deck for
Beginners, yeah.
beginners. It's because like I look at Becky's card or even the steampunk card, and not knowing anything, they're a little harder to decipher. In the Rider-Waite one, things are a little clearer, a little more separated,
I can
you know,
see
so
that.
you can pick out the different things. And it, you know, I think they're a really good learning tool for people like me that are, you know, just starting out and just starting to learn. You can kind of look at them and, you know, remember what we talked about, go, okay, you know, and see a little bit more each time you look at it.
Definitely. And I agree. I think I've never actually, which is why you'll notice when we do these art analysis, I don't use the Rider-Waite. I've never used the Rider-Waite. I learned using the woman who taught me, or the many different people who taught me, always just gifted me decks because that's what they believed in, was gifting decks, and they never gave me the Rider-Waite deck. And so I'm not very familiar with the Rider-Waite deck. Of course, I've seen it a million times because everybody uses it. So of course I've seen it a million times. I know the history of it because any tarot reader who knows what they're doing should know the history of the Rider-Waite deck. It's a very famous, popular deck. You should know. But the Rider-Waite deck, of course, because it was created in Italy and at the time of the very kind of peak of a lot of Abrahamic religion, you see a lot of Abrahamic symbolism in there, which is fine. It was just never anything I was like super into. So I tend to kind of go for decks more like the one next to it, like this one, that are going to be a lot more pagan when it comes to symbolism. But the Rider-Waite deck is probably much older than this one as well, and was created by some of the very first people in Italy to ever use or create major arcana. So of course they were going to put symbolism in it that made a lot more sense, that was a lot easier to read, and that really connected with the astrology that they were using to create the major arcana. So it makes a lot of sense, and it is a lot easier for beginners. I agree.
Yeah, I'm glad this was the first deck I got, because as you can see, having the Rider-Waite and having the steampunk, big difference.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, the steampunk are gorgeous, but if I look at them side by side, it helps. Okay, I see that. Okay, I see that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So that is actually, we went over on time a little bit, but that is our tarot art analysis class. This Saturday, we will be focusing on finishing up the major arcana so that everybody has a video that they can go reference where every single major arcana card is talked about, described, and defined, and all of those things. And
I have a question.
yes, of course.
Can we get that PDF, or that is not going to be available?
Yes, that is available on the divination website. So here, let me put it in the chat. So if you go, good night.
Night, Yvonne.
Oh, good night, Yvonne. Thank you for being here.
bye.
Bye. So, let me put that in the chat really quick. www.
Yeah, I am on the divination page now, and I can see all the
Perfect. Good. So if you
but
go
I
to,
cannot see that one in particular.
if you go
Not
to
the one with the slides, like you put them in.
not the one with the which one are you looking for?
Exactly the one that you were presenting.
Here, let me share screens again really quick and point it out.
Okay.
So,
Was it
were you looking for this one?
I am right there. Okay.
You're looking for this one?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So if you click on astrology and tarot,
I'm in.
you are going, so this is going to be exactly what all of those slides have on.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
So
I
it's
thought.
the
But
same
okay.
thing, it's just made nicer.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it also is going to, oh my gosh, I forgot I did this. Look at this. I actually laid them all out.
Yeah, that's the one that I saw too.
Yeah, it needs to be finished, but it's
does.
good.
Look at that, Alex. You did it. Okay, I didn't even know I did this. Look at me. Okay.
You must be working in your sleep now.
Sometimes I
Astro
swear.
projecting.
Whew, cool. All right.
Bye, Maddie.
Bye, Maddie.
So the next class will be this coming Saturday
Bye,
at
Maddie.
7
I'll talk to you
p.m.
later,
Mountain
honey.
Standard Time.
Yep. It'll be
Perfect.
this Saturday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And we will go over the rest of the major arcana.
Are we going to have enough time?
We only have to finish like 4. Not for the art analysis. I mean, just for definitions and stuff. We are going to just finish off the major arcana. If you go to our YouTube and you look, we've already done every single major arcana card, and we've almost minus like 4. And we've already defined every single one of them, got over the astrology, gone over the definition, how to read them, what they mean upside down, and all of that. So this Saturday, we will just be finishing the last 4 that we missed.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then after that, the next tarot classes are going to focus on art analysis. And they're just going to be like this, where we have discussions and talks and we look at pretty pictures, and it's going to be awesome. These are some of my favorite classes. There's so much.
You learn a lot. It's kind of fun listening to everybody else's opinion. So it's great.
It is. I'm so happy you liked it.
Thank you. So I will go ahead and